Hello everyone and welcome back to Fit Reset. This is day 15 and I am here with Allie and we are showing you our stretch routine. This video is for if you do not have a foam roller. If you do have a foam roller, however, click out of this video and go to our alternate day 15, which is both our foam rolling routine and our stretch routine, so you can really get the full benefits of your self-care day. But let's get into our stretching, and I'm going to begin by standing up at the top of the mat. And I'm just going to kind of take a little freestyle moment here, and I encourage you to do the same. So I like to start by loosening out my low back. And then I'm just going to do some windmills with my arms. So I'm getting into the shoulders a little bit. And this I like to kind of start my workout with as well. And then just windmilling back. And now I'm just going to get into the chest a little bit. I'm going to take my hands out in front of me and I'm just going to open and close. So getting into those pec muscles. And again, you can always freestyle. There's no right or wrong here. It's whatever you feel you need to open and loosen. Now getting into the biceps a little bit, crossing one arm over your body and then hooking on with the other. If you're super tight, you can take your hand closer to the wrist, or I'm sorry, closer in up towards your shoulder. More intense would be closer to the wrist.
I know I have to keep it in tight. For some reason, in this direction, my shoulders are really tight. I feel it in my delts.
Yeah, this is also for the delts. And switch to the other side. Now for this side, I do have to keep it up because this is my injured shoulder. So I really baby this side. Now I'm gonna get into the triceps and the lats a little bit by inhaling the arms up, taking my right hand right in between my shoulder blades and then grabbing hold of my right elbow with my left hand and then gently side bending to the right side, left side. And just bringing my gaze up towards the right side of the room. That feels good. Yeah, if you can, you can try to reach to grab the fingers. I don't have the space for that. And then let's take that to the other side. So taking left hand between the shoulder blades, grabbing hold of the left elbow with the right hand, and side bending to the right side, and bringing your gaze up towards the right side of the room. Sorry, left side of the room. My lefts and rights today, my goodness.
I think it's important to keep your core engaged too.
Yeah. Pushing those hips forward. Good, and then slowly release. Start to shake it out. All right, let's clasp the hands behind the back and draw your knuckles down. Lift your chest up. Again, stretching the front of the shoulders and the chest. You can even lift your gaze up. And then on your exhale, take a nice bend in the knees and try to reach your chest as close down towards your thighs as you can, as you really try to lift the knuckles up. And try to kiss the palms of the hands together as you're lifting those knuckles up. Just letting the head hang nice and heavy. And then keep yourself hanging nice and heavy as you relax the knuckles back down onto your low back. And then just drop the hands down right in front of your feet. Nice forward fold. You can take any movements that feel good here. So I like to pedal out my heels a little bit. So I'll stretch one heel up and then plant my other heel down. Now we're going to start to get into the hips a little bit. So we're going to start by stepping our right foot back behind us. And your left foot's going to stay in the left corner of the mat. And I'm just going to rock a little bit forwards and back on my toes. Just breathing into it. And then dropping my back knee down. And then I'm gonna start to open out my foot. So kind of opening out the sole of the foot like a hook. And then I'm just gonna try to lean my hips down even more towards the ground, and then maybe get my forearms down onto the ground. Breathe into. Nice lizard pose, really, really good for the hips. Use your exhales to try to get a little bit deeper. If you want, while you're down here on the forearms, you can tuck the back toes under and lift the knee back up and rock a little bit forwards and back on the toes again. And then drop the back knee down. Now, just an option here if you want to get deeper into the quads. You do not have to do this. It's not going to be for everybody. But you can bend your right heel in towards your tush and reach back with the left arm and perhaps grab the foot and try to draw the heel closer in towards your glutes. Breathe into it. It's nice too because you're getting some thoracic rotation mobility here as well with that twist. And then slowly release it all the way down. And we're gonna heel toe that left foot now out towards the right wrist to open out into a pigeon pose. Getting even more into the hips. Oh, it's so juicy and good. Let's walk the hands all the way out. Now, what I want you to try to do rather than just dropping the chest down is try to get the belly button down first and then get the chest down. So that's gonna get more into the hips. We call it a resting pigeon when you're down on the ground, but it might not particularly be a resting comfortable position for you. That's okay. You just want to breathe in softness. Pressing back into the palms of the hands. Tucking your back toes under, and then coming to place that right foot back in between your hands, and then just drop your back knee down and straighten your front leg to come into a hamstring stretch. I was like, ooh, is Ali feeling a vinyasa?
Almost.
So you want to bring the heel down, flex the toes, and the further out you can walk your hands, the more you're going to feel the stretch. You want to square off your hips, so try not to lean your hips too much to the right. And then we're going to bend into the front knee and get into some more thoracic mobility here. Keep your right hand down onto the ground and take your left hand behind your head. Inhale, spiral the chest all the way open towards the left side of the room. And then exhale, drop the elbow back down, drop your chest down towards the ground. Inhale, exhale. 2 more. Last time. Take your left hand back down, tuck the back toes under, step your back foot up to meet your front. Coming back into that forward fold. Take a few breaths here. And let's do all of those stretches on the other side. So walk your right foot to the right corner of the mat. And we're gonna step our left foot all the way back. And just take a moment here, rock a little bit forwards and back. Feel out how the hips are doing on this side. Might be a totally different story than the other side. And then when you're ready, dropping the knee down. And you can open out the sole of the foot like a book. And then see if you can start to kind of walk the hands forwards. Maybe dropping the forearms down. And breathe into it. Every time you breathe, try to get a little bit deeper, and creating softness in the body. I love, love, love lizard pose. So, so good. Hip help. I'll try that quad stretch on the other side, no pressure. Remember, each side is different, so if you did or didn't get it on the other side, it might be a different story here. Bending your left heel in towards your tush, reaching back with the right, and maybe trying to draw that heel closer in towards the glutes. Sometimes it can be rather intense. Slowly releasing the foot all the way down.
Actually opening my shoulders to release.
Yeah. And let's walk the right foot towards the left wrist to come into our pigeon pose.
There's always something to work on, no matter what your fitness level.
And you might start to deviate from what we're doing because your body's feeling a certain way. That's okay. Listen to what your body wants. Walk your hands out again, trying to get the belly button down first before the chest. And maybe as you exhale, you're able to deepen and soften into the stretch a little bit more. Perhaps. Rested pigeon. Sometimes it won't feel very restful. For me, especially on this side, it's more of an active stretch. Let's press into the palms of the hands. Nice and gently, we're gonna come to take the right foot back into the center of your hands, however you need to, and straighten that front leg to come into a hamstring stretch. So working on the back of the leg. Where you walk your hands out, deeper you're gonna feel the stretch, and try to remember to kind of square the hips out, so I kind of wiggle jiggle my way into it. And then getting into that thoracic mobility, we bend into the right knee and keep your left hand down. And take your right hand behind your head. Inhale to open the chest up. Exhale, bring it down. So working on that thoracic spine, which is the mid-spine, underneath the neck, before the low back. Last one. Plant the hands down. Now tuck the toes under. We're gonna send it back to a downward facing dog. Oh man. Such a beautiful downward dog after all that. Hell it out, feel it out again. No right, wrong here. From this downward facing dog, we'll carefully drop our knees down. We're gonna come into a puppy pose. This is gonna again get into the T-spine and the shoulders. Hips are stacked right above the knees, so your booty is staying up, and you're gonna start to walk the hands out, and then try to drop the forearms down. Drop your forehead, maybe your chest down to the ground. Keeping those arms like two railroad tracks. Same thing with the knees and the feet. This is one of my all-time favorite yoga poses. Super, super deep relief here. And on your next exhale, we're gonna bring it all the way forwards into a Sphinx. If you want to deepen this, you can press into the palms of the hands like you're trying to rip the mat in half and lift up into a seal pose. So seal is different than cobra because in Cobra, your hands are right by your rib cage and you're lifting up, but with Seal, your hands are out of you. You lift up. And you really want to make sure that you're pressing the pelvis into the ground so you're not destroying your low back in this pose. And then on your exhale, the chest back down. Now slide your hands back in towards the rib cage, lift the chest up, and send it back to a wide knee child's pose. And just start to deepen your breath. Feel free to continue stretching on the mat if it feels good. I have to say, I feel fan-freaking-tastic right now after all that stretching. I hope you guys do too, and I hope that you choose to implement some of these exercises that we did today into your self-care routine, which if you don't have one, hopefully today also inspired you to make one. I hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you again for sticking with us. This is the halfway mark, and we're so excited to continue this journey with you. Namaste.